How's everyone doing? Today I have a massive horror Blu-ray update. 25 Blu-rays right here, all horror. And if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them. And I'm going to try to go through these kind of fast because there's a bunch in here. And my memory card only holds HD video for like 18 minutes at a time. And I have seen a bunch of them. There's some I haven't seen here. But first up is The Invitation. I did enjoy this movie, but I felt it was overhyped. I heard a lot of people rave about it. It's a slow burn movie, and I thought it was highly formulaic and predictable, especially the way that it plays out at the dinner scene at the end. I was like, come on. You could see that coming a mile away, but some good underlying tension all throughout. Great cast in here. I really like Logan Marshall Green, who's in the TV show Quarry. I would highly recommend that TV show. Love it. He's been around for a while, but really enjoy him as an actor. The whole cast was great in here. But yeah, it's basically about a husband who's invited to his ex-wife's home with her new husband, and they're kind of in like this cult in a way. It's just one of those, they don't really call it that, but they're basically, that's what it is. And they have their friends there too, and they're having, a dinner, and there's this, they're trying to figure out why they're all there, and the tension is there. It's all there. It's palpable, but the slow burn, and there's a good payoff. I think the payoff is very tense and thrilling and suspenseful. There are certain parts I was like, oh, that one girl just kind of gave up. And I do like the one part at the end where they show in the distance in the hills the other lights. I thought that was a really cool part. But I thought this movie was well done, but overhyped. Still very enjoyable. Great release from Draft House Films, though. All kinds of awesome releases that they're putting out, too. I like the clear case, the slipcover. They have a booklet. They even have a digital copy, interior artwork as well. So again, fantastic Blu-ray DVD combo pack. I would recommend this one if you're into slow burn horror, but I did think it was formulaic. The Wailing, which is my favorite movie from 2016, I can't recommend this one enough, but I think it's going to be kind of a hard sell for some people. It is a lengthy movie, 157 minutes, and it's one of the few movies afterwards where I had to really sit down and think about it afterward, kind of like figure it out and kind of put it together. I think it's not going to be as easily accessible. Some people are going to be like, well, he was doing this, character was doing this, then suddenly they change. I think it was like stages, and that's something that made me love this movie even more and elevated it for me, the stages of the certain characters, especially that character right there. And this is from director Na Hong Jin, who did Yellow Sea and The Chaser. The Chaser I remember seeing a while back, and I really enjoyed the heck out of it. But this movie was phenomenal. It's so many different elements here. It's a genre blend. You've got, crime thriller, crime drama, some comedic elements with the bumbling cops in this small town, and there's these murders happening, and they're blaming on this old guy right here, and this old guy, I believe he's a Japanese guy, and and this is a Korean language film, by the way, and this kind of showing all these different kinds of emotions of, kind of old school emotions towards foreigners, especially Japanese people, and that plays into it. But the horror elements here are there, especially at the end, and I just love the different characters, and just a phenomenal film. I cannot recommend this one enough. Neon Demon, another one of my favorites of 2016, the latest film from Nicholas Winding Refn, who I think is a very stylistic auteur. It's great color schemes in here, very palpable, and just a creepy, bizarre film. Basically about Elle Fanning, who wants to become she moves out to California, Los Angeles, to become a model, and she's just dealing with everybody else who are in that lifestyle already, and just all the drama that deals with it. And oh my gosh, the ending was insane to this movie. Keanu Reeves is in here. He played a really creepy, dirty role. Jenna Malone was great. The whole cast was phenomenal. Again, this is one that's not going to be for everybody. It's kind of got a lot of dramatic pacing going on to it. Again, I like movies like this where it's not so, oversimplified, spoon-fed for you. It's just something a little bit out of the norm in a bit, and just really crazy, creepy, hypnotic, stylistic horror, and I love it. I'm really a big fan of Nicholas Winding Refn. Next up is the Severin release from Burial Ground. Love that new artwork. And then nice slipcover. You got the old school artwork right there. And then, in fact, I think you even have another. Yeah, you got this artwork too, which I remember in the interior artwork. Different releases for it, but this is in the vein of, this is from 1980, but it was in the vein of like the 70s. Italian, what is it, 70s, it's 1980 though, it's in the vein of '70s Italian zombie movies with kind of like crazy, cheap kind of gore, but effective as well. One of the things that make this stand out is the cast, especially these two characters right here. That kid is like one of the creepiest kids ever in horror movie history. Super creepy. And that mother is hot though. She's a MILF. So I don't. There's some creepy parts there, but yeah, they're basically in a I want to say like a remote kind of a castle, and all of a sudden the dead start coming back to life and attacking this group of friends that are there, friends and family members. And they're basically, it's a fight to survival, and it's definitely one of the kind of classic Italian zombie movies in my opinion. It's not quite up there with Zombie, but this one is very enjoyable. If you like those kinds of films, I think you'll enjoy that. Satan's Little Helper, super cheese. It's from Jeff Lieberman, who directed one of my all-time favorite slashers, Just Before Dawn, which is the prototypical backwoods slasher movie. Love that film. He also did Squirm, a bunch of other good movies too. But this Blu-ray is out of print. I think there was a lot of controversy. Apparently, this is the TV edited version. There's not too much edited out here. I think it's mostly just the language. But I think he didn't give his approval for this release. I'm not exactly sure, but this was like a Walmart exclusive. I think it was like a $3.99 bargain bin kind of deal, and then they got pulled, I guess, right away. And it's from Screen Media. But yeah, this is out of print. It goes for ridiculous money. Now, I do enjoy this movie. It's cheesy fun. It's about a little kid who's playing this video game, Satan's Little Helper, and he sees this guy dressed up in a cheesy mask and thinks it's him from the video game, and he's trying to help him, except, you know, he's actually helping him kill people. Again, it's cheesy, but I really enjoyed it, and I'm not sure if some of these I might have showed before. I know I got this a while back. The girl I was seeing at the time picked this up for me. Really overpaid for it on eBay, and I was like, oh, why'd you do that? It's so much money. But I still love this film. Cheesy fun. Always one that's enjoyable to watch on Halloween as well. But I hope Jeff Lieberman releases this on his website. He's released other movies like Remote Control on his website, and maybe he'll release the full unedited version. Although I think, again, it's just the curse words that are edited out. Lair of the White Worm, which I did show in Mail Day, but I didn't watch it at the time. Now I have watched it. I love the heck out of this movie. This movie was so much fun. Directed by Ken Russell, who of course did Crimes of Passion, Altered States, a bunch of other great films. And this is based on Bram Stoker, the novel from him. And Hugh Grant's in here, and it's basically about Hugh Grant's ancestors who apparently killed this white dragon, but they find out there could be possibly a giant white worm that's still alive in these kind of like caves underneath a castle. And at first I thought it was going to be really creepy, but it's not really too creepy, but very entertaining. And if you get bitten by some of these people who I don't really want to give too much away about it, but there's of course the Lair of the White Worm. There's a big giant white worm. I'm not going to give that away. It's right there in the freaking title. But yeah, if you get bitten by some of the people who are under that control, you kind of turn into like a vampire mixed with a snake. Kind of hard to describe, but really cool, creepy, some comedic elements to it. I just thought this was a lot of fun. Some great special features on here too, especially from Ken Russell, the director. I would definitely recommend checking this one out, especially if you like Ken Russell films. Next up is Condemned. I saw this a while ago when it first came out. I need to revisit it. It's kind of like Slime City Massacre and Street Trash, kind of sleazy, a condemned apartment complex with drug addicts and stuff, and gross, slimy, bloody, oozy stuff going on. So if you like those kind of movies, check out Condemned. I'm going to revisit it soon. I remember it being very enjoyable for what it was, those kind of movies. My Solar Take, which I've had this in my collection for years. I got a Blockbuster when it closed down for like $1 or $2. And I finally checked it out. The second and last film that Wes Craven directed after Scream 4. And I thought, man, I wanted to like this. I was really digging it, especially the intro. But it kind of just falters a lot, especially at the end. I think we could have done way more with it. I think it was very formulaic in certain aspects. But it had some really good creepy elements going on to it. It just misses the mark for me. I think it's still decently entertaining for what it is. Kind of like high school horror. It's rated R, which was surprising because I didn't think it was a rated R type movie, but it's decent. I just wanted more from it. Next up is Sorority Babes and the Slime Bowl-O-Rama. This is from Full Moon. I remember watching this years ago. I'm going to revisit it. Directed by David DeCocteau. I remember this being super cheesy, and I just remember that I think it was like these guys spying on these girls, and they make them go to a bowling alley, and they open up this, what they think is a trophy, but I guess it's keeping this imp who's right there, and the imp is making like granting wishes or something, but they're evil wishes, and they're trying to stop the imp. I just remember being ridiculously cheesy. It does have some well-known actors in here, actresses rather. Linnea Quigley's in here, Brinky Stevens, some classic scream queens, but I just remember it being super cheese. Next up is the Hostel 1, 2, and Hollow Man 1, 2 4-pack right there. Hollow Man 2 was straight garbage. With Christian Slater, it sounded like he was only actually physically in the scenes for like a couple minutes. The rest was just he's invisible and you just hear him talking. I guess, I don't know if he had other projects going on, he couldn't dedicate a lot of time, but hot garbage, that movie. The first Hollow Man was pretty decent. Kevin Bacon plays an awesome jerk. And yeah, I remember really enjoying the first Hollow Man, and Elizabeth Shue is stunning. Hostel 1 and 2, I really enjoy Hostel. Hostel 2 really breaks down to like 2 awesome kill scenes, especially the one with the sickle. That was an amazing scene. But besides that, some of the hot chicks, it just kind of falls flat for me. Hostel 1's amazing though. Eli Roth, up and down for me, up and down. I really liked Aftershock, which I saw just recently. Enjoyed the heck out of that movie. I know a lot of people hated it. The Exorcism of Molly Hartley, which this is a very forgettable exorcism movie. It does have what is that guy's name? I can't even remember now. Devon Sawa. It's funny because people used to tell me I looked like him all the time when I was a kid. And I was told I looked like so many different people growing up. He was the only one that I thought I actually looked like. But yeah, he's in here, and I want to say there's a couple other supporting cast members that are recognizable. But again, it's a pretty straightforward exorcism kind of movie, and the ending kind of leaves you wanting a little bit more from it. But pretty standard. Very forgettable. I saw it a while ago. Vatican Capes is another one where it's kind of forgettable, very formulaic, exorcism, possession kind of movie. The ending on this one pissed me off. It was like, you're going to leave it like that? Come on now. But I do like the cast here. Michael Pena, a few other recognizable people. What's that guy's name? I'm going to try to find his. Oh, Digimon Hanasu right there. Remember him from Amistad way back in the day. But yeah, again, very formulaic. Next up is The Hills Have Eyes 2. Love the back cover to that right there. That's just awesome. And I like Michael Berryman a lot. This one though just falls flat for me. The original's a classic. I even love the remake, and even the recent Hills Have Eyes 2. I know people hate that movie, but I love that one. The creature development especially, just great gore. But this one was cheesy. They're going back. Ruby's there, and she's going back into the area to film like a dirt bike video. People are going to do like a dirt bike race or something like that. I don't know if they're doing just a video or they're just doing like a race there. But of course, there's people that are still, some of them are still alive from the hills. And yeah, it's a battle to survive. Just kind of falls flat, nothing really great. This one I haven't seen, The Haunting of Whaley House. I don't know if it's found footage or not. I'm hoping it's not. It's from Asylum, but don't know too much about that one. Next up is a triple feature. I've seen Salvage Forever Go. Again, kind of forgettable, low-budget horror. Mortuary I saw a while ago too with Toby Hooper. I thought that had a lot of potential, but it was just about average for me. Could have been a lot better. Memory I haven't seen with Billy Zane, Dennis Hopper, and Margaret. So looking forward to checking that one out. Next up is a Dutch horror movie, Kill Zombie. Don't know too much about it. Looks like it's going to be kind of a zom-com kind of movie. Double feature, which is a horror comedy, I guess mostly comedy, Student Bodies, which I saw. I feel like a scary movie. I think you'd probably enjoy that. It's kind of like one of the early ones with that kind of parody horror kind of stuff. I love the intro scene for that though. The rest of the movie, eh. And I haven't seen Jekyll and Hyde together again, so looking forward to checking that out. Troll 2, which super cheese right there. Nilbog, Goblin spelled backwards. This is the 20th anniversary Nilbog edition. And I remember having a crush on the evil like Goblin Queen. Like looking back when I was a kid, looking back, I'm like, why did I have a crush on her? She was crazy and evil and not super attractive. But I remember there was like one scene where she was. But yeah, just a super cheesy, fun movie. Again, people consider it, you know, the best worst movie. There's the documentary about it called that. Call Girl Cthulhu from Camp Motion Pictures. Looks like a just super cheesy, fun movie with some hot chicks in it too, with kind of like an H.P. Lovecraft horror comedy elements going on. Children of the Night looks like a Child of Vampires, kind of like a Let the Right One In, which is an all-time classic transcendent horror movie. I don't know if it'll live up to that. That's high to do, but looks interesting. Next up is The Monster of Piedras Blancas, which looks like a ripoff of Creature from the Black Lagoon. I think they actually took like suits from other movies and used them in this this one right here. I'm trying to find where it says, but I remember hearing that before. So yeah, this is from Olive Films. I like a lot of the films that they're putting out horror-wise. Motivational Growth, which has Jeffrey Combs in it. It's about a guy who tries to commit suicide. I guess he fails, supposedly. I'm not 100% sure, but there's like mold right there growing. It talks to him. Kind of reminds me of Brain Damage with that aspect from Frank Henenlotter. Next up, I Spit on Your Grave 3, Vengeance is Mine. Haven't seen it. Love the first one of the recent ones. The second one I need to revisit, and the third one I haven't seen yet. So looking forward to checking that out. Meridian from Full Moon, kind of looks like a kind of Beauty and the Beast kind of thing going on here. And is that yeah, Sherilyn Fenn is on here. So looking forward to checking that out. She's stunning. And then next up is another Full Moon one, which I hate the graphics to this, especially that one. It looks like the head was like just like copy and pasted onto that. And Dark Angel Ascent, it's about a demoness in hell, and she goes to Earth and she's killing evil people. So looks cheesy from the cover, and the graphics are awful, but looking forward to checking it out. So if you've seen these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them, and leave me a comment or video response down below. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.